It's time for more Manifesting Original Rich Bitch Experiences. Each week, we're talking travel, wellness, and millennial musings with a level of refinement. What level? It fucking depends. I'm your host, Ava Bilkey. What is up? This is a very exciting week for me because this is my birthday week, and nobody loves their birthday more than I do. So I'm super excited that we can be celebrating together. And I figured that I would like to offer up some ways in which we can all celebrate our birthdays. And we'll get into it, but I think we're going to run back the top 10 rich bitch ways to celebrate your birthday. For context, I absolutely love birthdays. I know that not everyone is a birthday person, but me personally, it is what I would consider the best holiday. And I think birthdays are the best holiday because everyone gets their own, you know? Like, this isn't some Christmas or Hanukkah situation where some people celebrate and some people don't, and we're all doing kind of different things at different times with groups of people. This is a day dedicated to you. And it happens once a year, and it's your day. I think that's the best part about birthdays is that everyone gets their turn to be celebrated and acknowledged. So I've always loved my birthday, and I also love celebrating other people's birthdays. It's a great way to really acknowledge somebody in your life that you care about. And I'm a quality time person too. So, like, I love spending time with the people I love on their birthdays, and I think they can be a really special thing. That said, I know that not everyone is a birthday person. So I think whether or not you like your birthday probably has a lot to do with the ways in which it was celebrated or not celebrated as a child, perhaps, or just the memories you have of birthdays. I think that when I reflect back on my birthdays, I have very positive memories, which honestly is surprising because I was born on February 2nd in Minnesota. And what that means is that I was born into the absolute coldest climate. It's icy as fuck, it's cold, it's brutal, it's rigid. And despite all of that, I have still had some really great birthday memories. So I want to share a little bit about birthday memories as a child and then what I feel like I did as an adult to then sort of like counteract or maybe provide an alternative storyline to those things, and then get into our list of ways to celebrate. So for me as a kid, I think I remember like three specific birthday parties. One of those birthday parties was an ice skating party. And I think I remember this one, frankly, because there are pictures of it. Like, I had printed out photos of this birthday party that I celebrated with like three friends. And since I had those photos in an album, I think that's why this party was memorable to me. It was just three friends. We went ice skating indoors because, of course, ice skating outdoors was too cold and dangerous. But I remember that being really fun. It's like, okay, that's cute. The next birthday party as a child I really remember is, I think, something around my 13th birthday. And this was a massive slumber party with my entire dance team. And this was probably the biggest birthday party I ever had. Like, as a kid, I was very much one of those people that had like one or maybe two, like maybe three friends at a time. Like, I was very much dedicated to quality over quantity. And that's still true. But I remember that birthday party because it was just like, it was the biggest one I ever had, and it was kind of chaotic. And slumber parties are just fun. I read something recently about how it's like I think it was like a girl boss newsletter, and someone was making the case for bringing back slumber parties and like all of the things that they had learned, like life skills from having a slumber party. And I thought that was kind of cute. Like one of the things that this article said was specifically that they learned how to like adapt to different environments because when you sleep somewhere else that's not your own bed, like there's a whole host of things that come with that, including like, weird noises. Like maybe you discover that some people are loud breathers or whatever it is. But I thought it was funny because basically, there was a girl making a case for like all of the life skills she learned from having slumber parties, to which I quite agree. But my slumber party 13th birthday was also quite memorable. Now, the third very clear childhood birthday memory I have is specifically a birthday where nobody showed up to my birthday and nobody came over to my house growing up because it was too cold. Okay? And so to give you an idea of like what is even too cold to like no show a birthday party, today, presently, as I'm recording this podcast, it is negative 11 degrees Fahrenheit. That is like freeze your skin off, hypothermia cold. That is my car won't start cold. That is my garage door malfunctions and won't open cold. So I find myself back in this position of weather really trying to kill my vibe. So those are the three memories I have of birthdays as a kid. And I share those because I think that, birthdays as a kid really influences the way in which we view birthdays now. So I approached adulthood coming from a place of like, I have maybe one or two or three friends and it's great. And if they can show up for my birthday party, it's going to be a great fucking time, but like, don't count on it. Right. So then, as a young adult, I would say I kind of counteracted this like kind of chill, kind of solitude, kind of quiet, kind of cold annual birthday with like trying to do the most. As a young adult, I was like, limousine this, private dinner that, nightclub table this, like custom cupcakes order that. Like really trying to do the most. And again, like I think that was just a knee jerk reaction to having like very chill birthdays as a kid. And I will fully admit that I do make my birthday my entire personality. So for this week and probably for the entire month of February, if we're being totally honest, it's my birthday month. And I will make sure that you know that. Why? Because one, I'm an extrovert and I love attention. And two, I just love to be seen and acknowledged and celebrated. But in turn, I am also a really good friend and also try to make the most of my friends' birthdays and my family for that matter, too. So we take, the childhood memories and then we have our adult memories. And I feel like, let me know if you also agree with this, but I feel like pandemics kind of fucked up the whole birthday vibe. Like for the last 3 years, I feel like my birthday has just been like not really the same. And it could be an aging thing. I'm not really sure, but I'm going to blame it on the pandemic because why not? Obviously, for the first year of this, like we really couldn't go anywhere or do anything. And so I think a lot of people saw their birthdays pass and like didn't really blink an eye. And that's fair, right? Because there were more important things we were focused on in that time, like quite literally surviving. I get that. However, what I've been observing and experiencing over the last couple of years is like kind of a birthday blues situation where like nothing is really hitting. Like the level of birthday dopamine that I am seeking is not easily delivered. And I think this is just a result of like humans still just being in a place where it's like, we don't really know what the fuck we're doing right now, but I could be wrong. You let me know what you think about that. In order to really counteract all of that, like I think we need to bring back birthdays and make sure that we are celebrating ourselves and the people that we love. So, in honor of my birthday this week, and in honor of you having your best birthday in this coming year, let's go through what I am calling 10 rich bitch ways to celebrate your birthday. This list is a list of ways to celebrate your birthday solo, okay? Because we have learned that we can't always depend on other people. So we need to celebrate ourselves. If you want to have a good birthday, you've got to take it into your own hands. None of this like hoping that somebody's going to throw you a party or like crossing your fingers that someone remembers your favorite kind of cake. We are going to fully own our birthdays and make sure that we deliver the experiences that we want to have for ourselves. So, like I said, top 10 ways to celebrate your birthday solo, but also know that these things can also like have friends and family filtered in. First and foremost, the number one rule to be a boss ass bitch is to take the day off of work. No working on your birthday. Why? Because if you work on your birthday, it's going to feel like every other day. Okay, so what this means is if you've got a job that you've got to submit your PTO for, you make sure that you're taking the day off on your birthday. If you are someone who has your own business, you are blocking your calendar, no meetings and no work on your birthday, myself included. Taking the day off is the most important thing because, yes, I get that we can celebrate and observe our birthdays on days that are not our birthdays, but then it's not your fucking birthday. So, the first thing we got to do is take the day off of work. And that allows us to do items 2 through 10. Okay. The second way in which I would like to recommend you could celebrate your birthday is by booking some sort of self care appointment. This could be a massage, you could book a facial, you could get a manicure, a pedicure, some sort of a treatment that feels a little bit special. I know for me personally, this week I will be getting my hair colored. Thank God, because my roots are a like a couple inches deeper than they should be. And that is always something I love. Like getting my hair done, it for me is like a top tier activity. So I will be doing that on my birthday, and I'm really looking forward to that because then I won't have to wash my hair and it's going to look fabulous for the entire week. Um, you could be, again, getting some other type of spa service. I'm also going to be indulging in a facial. And I've learned in my 30s that facials are actually a little less indulgent and a little more just like necessary for preservation. So I'm also looking forward to that. But think about something that would feel good, like feel like a special little treat, and also like has you feeling like you're looking cute, and do that for your birthday. The third activity I offer up is to buy yourself a gift. So, again, we're not banking on anyone else. If there is something that you really want and your birthday is a great opportunity or an excuse or maybe a justification, get that thing. So maybe you want to have an investment piece, like maybe you're really a purse girly, or maybe you're a shoe person, or maybe you like are waiting to invest in this dope leather jacket. Who knows? But if there is something that you've been wanting to purchase, I think your birthday is a great opportunity to do that because then you can have this investment piece or this thing and be like, oh, yeah, I gifted that to myself for my 30th birthday. Like, how cool is that? It could also be something small. So, in 2023, we are all buying ourselves flowers. So, maybe it's not a huge investment piece. Maybe it is something more simple and more temporary. And in that case, I think you should buy yourself flowers too. The fourth rich bitch way to celebrate your birthday is by journaling and setting some goals. So, depending on when your birthday is, you might have more or less journaling to do. And what I mean by this is my birthday is February 2nd. It is fairly soon after the new year. And so I feel like I do a lot of my kind of journaling and goal setting for my next year of life kind of around the time of the new year. However, I do plan to revisit that journaling I did at the end of the year and kind of retrofit it or adjust it for my birthday because I do think this is a great practice to have. So, taking some time on your birthday to reflect about the last year and set some intentions for your year ahead. And one of the intentions that I know that I'm going to be bringing into my next year is to leave more room for the unexpected. And what I mean by that is not over planning things. I think that in my last year of life, I've realized that some of the coolest opportunities or some of the most aligned invitations or some of the just fun moments have come from just very unexpected, very organic, very natural occurrences. They're not the things that I have in my goals list or my bucket list. They're not necessarily the things that I even knew I'd want to be doing, but really leaving that space for great things to come your way that maybe you didn't have on your quote unquote bucket list. So I know for sure that that's what I'll be bringing with me in the year ahead. But again, I think setting some time to journal and really reflect on where you've been and where you're going is a great activity to do on your birthday. Number five, the fifth way that we can celebrate ourselves on our birthdays is by baking a cake. As a kid, like my parents would always make me a funfetti cake with funfetti, pink funfetti frosting. And there's something so comforting about having something like that where it's like every year on your birthday, you have something familiar. I love the funfetti cake. Now I'm gluten free. And while Pillsbury does offer a gluten free version of funfetti, I believe, it's just not quite the same. So this year I will be baking myself a chocolate. What am I going to make? I'm going to make a chocolate cake, a gluten free chocolate cake with chocolate buttercream frosting. And this is a recipe. I'll link the recipe because it's actually really good. It's from Joy the Baker. I love Joy the Baker. I've made a few of her cakes over the last year, actually. And so, baking yourself a cake, baking yourself something delicious is a really fun way to celebrate your birthday. So, I look forward to baking that cake. I don't know how much of that cake I'll be consuming versus sharing with others. But that's okay. Like, if you're just baking yourself a cake for you, like, you should still do that. You can always freeze some of the cake if you're worried about it, or you could give some away. But I think it's a fun activity. I quite enjoy baking. It feels creative. It feels kind of like an escape again, because we're looking for things to do that are out of the norm. And what is a birthday without cake, honestly? Like, that's a necessity. So I'm looking forward to that. And I will link that recipe because it is delicious. Number six is to take yourself to a movie or a concert. Now, obviously, taking yourself to a specific show is dependent on what's showing in the city where you're located. But I would venture to say that almost everyone could go to a movie theater. So if there's something that you want to see, like take the afternoon and just take yourself out to do that. I would love nothing more than to go to a show that I've really wanted to see on my birthday. I just don't know that there's anything I want to see specifically on my birthday this year. However, you could also do something like Netflix, or you could rent a movie, or you could treat yourself to a new streaming platform subscription. I mean, there's a lot of ways to do this, but really the concept is taking the time to enjoy something that you've been wanting to see or wanting to experience that maybe you don't make time for in your standard week. Number 7 is to carve out some time to talk to a friend or family member. So, again, this is a solo list, and then we can add in friends. If you happen to be in the same city as your friends and family, like obviously you could simply get together. However, if you are someone that is traveling, or if you're someone that's a bit more nomadic, it can be really nice to carve out some time on your birthday specifically to talk to a loved one. I know that my best friend always FaceTimes me on my birthday. I always FaceTime her on her birthday. And even if we can only chat for a few minutes, like it's so nice to just see each other's faces and really wish each other a happy birthday in person, if that makes sense. Basically, just taking it off the text message page. I think that giving or receiving a more personalized birthday wish is really sweet. It's kind of like, I don't know if you did this like growing up, but it's like the modern day version of singing someone happy birthday on voicemail. That's the way I can equate it. It's just adding that personal touch. And it's really nice to not be completely isolated on your birthday. So if you can chat with someone that you love, like definitely take the time to do that on your day. The eighth option that I will offer up is taking yourself out to dinner. And if you don't do this regularly, it can feel a little bit scary. I'm not going to lie about that. But taking yourself out to a nice meal and dining out in general is one of my favorite ways to celebrate birthdays and special occasions. On the flip side, you could be like, "Oh, I'm gonna cook a meal," but, like, for me, I meal prep a lot, like, during a regular standard week. Like, I cook probably 80% of my meals, so, like, I'm not really interested in cooking on my birthday. The rich bitch way to do this would be absolutely to dine out and to let somebody else cook for you. So take yourself out, go to your favorite restaurant, like grab a seat at the bar, have a cocktail, just enjoy yourself, indulge. And if you don't dine out solo frequently, just know that no one gives a fuck. Like, you might feel like everyone is staring at you or talking about you because you're alone. And that's simply not the case. Like, nobody cares what you have going on. Like, just own that moment and fully enjoy it. And don't let being solo discourage you from going out to eat or stopping in to, grab a drink at a bar. I think that is one of the best ways to celebrate. And if you can layer in going out to eat with somebody that's of course fun too. I know that I'm going to be hitting up a couple of my favorite restaurants in Minneapolis this week for my birthday. And I'm really looking forward to that because, again, I love dining out and your girl could use a break from all of this monotonous, healthy meal prepping. Okay. The ninth way that we could be celebrating our birthdays is to get a new tattoo. I know this one sounds like a little different than journaling, and it is because we like range, we like variety. But I haven't done this specifically on my birthday, but I was trying to think about like what would feel fun, like what would feel a little bit crazy, what would feel out of, again, the normal, and would be a really nice way to celebrate your birthday. So you could get a new tattoo on your birthday. And I don't have this in my personal plans for this week, but what I'll say is it's definitely in the realm of possibility. And I might add this to my list. we'll see. I'll keep you updated if that happens. But I think getting a new tattoo could be a really fun way to celebrate your birthday. Okay. And the 10th way to have a rich bitch birthday would be to take a staycation or to go on a little trip. Now, the nice thing about doing a staycation, maybe you are just, going to a hotel and staying overnight in your own city, or maybe you're spending a weekend at a cabin, or maybe you are going on more of a trip where you are switching it up. Um, I think this is a fantastic way to celebrate your birthday. And for some reason, like this never happens for me. And it's quite bizarre because as someone who travels a lot, you would think like, oh, like of course Ava's going to go on a birthday trip. I have literally never been on a birthday trip. And I'm not quite sure why that is. Maybe it's because it feels like a lot of coordination, like a lot of planning, especially if you want to get friends involved. Everyone has to fly to a specific location. Like it kind of gives like bachelorette party vibes when you're like, now everyone needs to book their plane tickets to go here. Maybe that's why I haven't done a birthday trip. However, a birthday solo trip would be a really good look. And I have to be completely honest, the fact that I am not in the Bahamas this week, like, is really dumb, because it's cold. Um, it's like, I've been indoors because hashtag survival. And I would actually like to be maybe on a beach for a birthday. I think that is a really great way to celebrate. And again, it could be a solo trip, it could be a little staycation, but this needs to happen. I need to make this happen for one of my birthdays. And it can be a really fun way to celebrate your birthday too. I also love the idea of making it like an annual thing where you kind of explore, like you have a thing and then you do a different version of that thing, right? So maybe you love to like check out different hotels and maybe you like to do like a 5-star hotel tour. And every year on your birthday, you spend a night at a different 5-star hotel. That would be kind of cool. In the same way, where it's like maybe you love going to tropical beaches, and every year for your birthday, you collect a postcard from a tropical beach that you visit on your birthday. I think that would be a real rich bitch way to celebrate. And definitely something to consider because, again, I've never done that before and I love doing new things. So, there we have it, 10 ways in which you can have a rich bitch birthday all by yourself to ensure that you are fully acknowledging and celebrating yourself. I think that's the most important thing about this list or roundup of ways to celebrate your birthday is that it doesn't require anyone else. You can carve out some time to do one or 10 things that really honor where you've been and show yourself some self care, some self love, and really set you up to have a great year ahead and bring that energy, bring that self love energy into your next spin around the sun. I love birthdays. I know that not everyone loves birthdays, but I think you can love birthdays, especially if you carve out some time to obviously not work and do something that is fun for yourself on your birthday. So there we have it. I will be participating in a lot of these things and maybe adding some other things to my list. We will see. Um, but again, celebrate the people that you love, celebrate yourself. Everyone gets a birthday. I think that's so special and it's just fun. Like life is so short and we have to celebrate these moments. So don't let your birthday slip by without acknowledging it in some way. Okay. And with that, let's transition into this week's Love It or Leave It. So, what am I loving this week? On the topic of birthdays, my best friend was in town over the weekend. So, she's not going to be around on my actual birthday. However, she really forced me to get out of the house so we could celebrate my birthday together last weekend. And I really love that because this time of year for me personally, in the winter time, it's really easy for me to get into like hibernation mode. Like I'm wintering right now, and sometimes I just don't want to get out of my sweatsuit to leave the house. And I tried, I'm not going to lie, I tried to rain check on this birthday celebration for no conscious reason other than like I was just in my weird wintering funk. Um, but my best friend was like, we're not rain checking. It's your birthday. And I absolutely loved that. And so what we did is we went to the Mall of America. And because again, it's cold. So it's like, what can we do indoors? So we went to the Mall of America and shopped around a little bit. And then we needed some dopamine, we needed some serotonin. We went to the amusement park inside of the Mall of America. And we rode there's like a swings. There's a swings ride, kind of like they have at like a state fair, right? Where it's like this big like tree full of swings. Okay. We were definitely the oldest people on this ride. However, it was adult accommodating and it was so much fun. Like literally, it was maybe 3 minutes of swinging, but we both could not stop laughing. And like we got off the ride and we were both super dizzy because we were like looking at our phones and like taking content. But we both had like tears. Like I had makeup drips like on my face after going on this like amusement park ride. And we literally just like we hit one ride and then we're like, okay, now we're gonna go have hibachi dinner at the Benihana inside the Mall of America. So it was just like a very unusual kind of random collection of moments, but it was so much fun and I absolutely love it because I was trying to be lazy and stay home, and she knew better than to let that happen and was like, no, bitch, it is your birthday. Fucking get up. I did not change out of my sweatsuit though. I did wear my sweatsuit. I styled it though. Don't worry. It looked cute. I had like a button up underneath it. I had my sweatsuit. I had some sneakers on, and then I had like a really cool coat. I styled the sweatsuit, but I left the house. So I think that was the best of both worlds, frankly. And it was so much fun. And I love you, Angel. Thank you for celebrating with me. And I miss you already. Okay. The next thing I am loving is I don't know if this happens to you. I'll find a snack that I love and then I will eat it repeatedly until I'm so sick of it that I like can't see it again. And so for me right now, what I'm loving is I've been making sourdough toast. So I've been toasting a piece of sourdough and then I've been buttering it with ghee and then I've been sprinkling it with, this is the important part, Maldon sea salt, okay? Some fancy fucking sea salt flakes. And it is just the most delicious snack and I cannot stop eating it. So every night before bed, I've been having my buttered sourdough toast with sea salt and it's a vibe, just saying. So if you're looking for a new bedtime snack, highly recommend. This is like how you know it's peak winter. I'm like, highly recommend a piece of toast with butter and salt. But honestly, you have to get the Maldon flaked sea salt. That is the true defining, elevating factor of the snack. But that is very frankly what I am loving right now. On my leave it's for this week, it is really only the weather, okay? It's going to be a great week. It's birthday week. It's birthday month. Again, can't tell me shit. But it is negative 11 degrees Fahrenheit right now, and I just can't. It is too cold. And again, like I'm sitting here like, Ava, why did you not book yourself a trip to the Bahamas? Why are you not in Miami? Why aren't you like on the beach somewhere for your birthday? I don't know. I'm just not, okay? And in turn, I'm really not vibing with this cold weather. And the 10-day forecast, like it's not promising. I don't think we peak above of freezing for like at least 10 days. So if anyone's ever wondering why like I'm kind of icy, in my soul, it's because this is the climate that I was born into, okay? Frankly, it's embedded in my DNA, but I don't love it. Okay. That's all I've got for this week. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to you when your birthday comes around. Let me know if you end up celebrating like a rich bitch. I hope you do, because you deserve it. And I'll see you next week. Please rate and review the podcast if you enjoyed this episode. You can follow along on Instagram at the More Pod. And I look forward to, oh my gosh. Okay, I'm losing my voice. Gotta go. I look forward to seeing you next week. Listen to the More Pod every Wednesday as I share the things that make me more me and discover a thing or two to make you more you.